The rule-based approach had a ceiling, everyone working in the field eventually hit it the same ceiling in different ways. The question wasn't whether expert systems could be improved. The question was whether the fundamental approach could ever produce something that learned rather than something that only knew what it had been told. Some researchers believed the answer was no. Some kept working on neural networks, mathematical models loosely inspired by biological neurons that had shown promise and then hit their own ceiling in the 1980s and been largely abandoned. The shift was not sudden, the shift was not clean, the shift was decades of mathematics waiting for hardware to catch up to the theory, waiting for data to exist at sufficient scale, waiting for the processing power to run the calculations. The equations had always required. 2012 AlexNet, a neural network built by Geoffrey Hinton's team, entered the ImageNet competition, a standardized test of image classification, and outperformed every other entry by a margin that surprised even the people who built it. Not because they had written better rules for recognizing images, because the network had learned from 1.2 million labeled examples what features mattered without being told what features to look for. That distinction was the shift. The objective function is the math the network optimizes, adjusting weights across millions of connections until the error reduces, until the pattern emerges. Not written by hand, not explicitly programmed, discovered through iteration, through data, through the mathematics of learning itself. 2016 AlphaGo has more possible positions than atoms in the observable universe. Brute force calculation was not possible. DeepMind built a system that learned to play through reinforcement learning, playing millions of games against itself, developing something that looked like intuition within the game. It defeated Lee Sedol 4 games to 1, a world champion who said after game 4 that he felt he was playing something that understood the game differently than any human had. What these systems learned is genuinely debated. Whether they understand anything in any meaningful sense is genuinely contested. What is documented is that the methodology produced capabilities that the previous approach could not. Pattern recognition at scale, performance in specific domains that matched or exceeded human specialists. The limitations were real too. Brittleness outside training distribution, sensitivity to adversarial inputs, no common sense reasoning, no genuine understanding of cause and effect. The objective function optimizes toward the defined target. It does not ask why the target matters. It does not ask what happens outside the training data. It finds the pattern in what it was given. That was enough to change everything. That was also not enough. For every